Grand Rising, I am Empress Sade Elbe, and this is the Moors News Network. If you would like to follow us, you can join our group, and you can find us on Telegram at the Moors News Network. Invite link provided in the description below. We speak on all the latest news, spiritual news, Mother Gaia news, share knowledge, provide products and services, preparedness information, and all of the info that you just can't speak about on any other social media platform due to content and free speech restrictions. So come and join us. Again, the invite link is provided in the description below. Also, if any of the information provided within this video, past videos, and our message at the Moors News Network resonate with you, then please like and you support our mission, then please like, share, and subscribe to our channel to get this information out there to the people that may need what we are sharing in the critical times that we are living in today. Okay, so the information that I am going to share with you today, and I just put something on the screen. This brother is talking a lot about Noble Drew Ali, and I wanted to, give some people some type of visuals because he has books and different references. But I'm going to be speaking on the trap, being tricked out of our estate again. Nationality confusion. Okay, I'm going to call it something to that nature this show, because I see that we are being tricked again. One of the first tricks that we have been discussing about lately I know I personally stated it probably about a couple of months ago, but also it has been stated recently from a few other people as well lately. So the bots, if you went and got the bots, then of course that, changes your blood. If it changes your blood, you will no longer, your bloodline has changed. Okay. So I'm trying to stick with specific information right now because we already had a problem with the shift. I don't know if you guys seen the episode number 8, but we were talking about so much information that you guys really need to go and look at. I had to put it on Rumble. So if you go to the YouTube video, is the link to Rumble, go check out the shift because we talked about so much good information. I'm serious, guys. It's like, some life or death type of information because there's some things going on that's happening right here in North America, Northwest of Exum, that no one is talking about. And so I'm going to talk about that too. But for right now, I just want to speak on the trap. And that is one particular trap. When you get that box, and you know what I'm talking about people that went and got the box for whatever their reasons, they were concerned about and worried about, especially through this time that we're living in. So they went and got it. And now they're finding out that besides anything that has to do with health related information, but they're also finding out about changes to the blood that can take you away from your bloodline. People, if you're indigenous to the land and you are from whatever tribe, no matter where it is in the world, the indigenous people are the Moors. That was just a way to even describe the indigenous people. So if your blood is changing, then that's changing that bloodline. And it's taking you away from your rightful claims to being the heirs of this vast estate. Now, we talked about the vast estate, okay? Sometimes we specifically talk about the trust with Noble Drew Ali, which consists of, Canada, North America, Central, South America, and the adjoining islands. But we're also talking about, the land worldwide and within the earth, on top of the earth, and above the earth. Okay? No matter where you're from. That was part of stating it was like, a way of saying, okay, these are those particular type of people. So when people say, oh, I don't want to proclaim, I don't want to do that because I don't want to be labeled or more, then you're literally taking yourself away from your inheritance. The same way the people got the bots, that's taking them away from their inheritance. You are also doing the same thing by taking yourself away from your inheritance. I want you guys to get a clear picture of what's going on, because there's some misinformation, and some of it has to do with, some people just don't know. It might not be their area of study, because you got to be well-rounded, and some people don't know about the law and contract law and how all this stuff works. So let me say this. We already know if there was cosmic law and universal law, and we could talk about the laws of Maya, you could talk about the laws of gravity. If it's all those other laws, then what makes you think that once we came down to this realm, to the 3D, that there wasn't laws, specific laws, so we can get along with each other, that we didn't create for ourselves and for everyone to get along? So some people are actually starting to think that the laws, or having certain laws, are bad. And then we start getting into, oh, the Dirty Moors did this and the Dirty Moors did that. You got to understand, center stand, overstand that just like in your quote unquote family, your kin right now, you may have people that are, whether you consider them good or bad, you're going to have both. Specifically, just because someone is doing maybe bad things in your family and you're not, then that doesn't pertain to you. Are you representing yourself like, okay, because that person is bad, that means you are? Whatever your definition of bad is, does that mean that you are because they are? So we're actually discriminating against ourselves. And it's kind of like how we talked about, even with the hybrid Europeans. How would we even blame them? And we talk about racism and discrimination when we're actually doing it amongst ourselves, because we're like, well, there were some bad people that were Moors. And because they're bad people, I don't want to associate with the Moors. And you're putting everybody in a box the same way that they do the quote unquote niggas in the hood. And now everybody in the hood is bad. What makes you any different? You're falling for the trap. Guys, we have to definitely use our common sense, but steer away from the programming. Know when you're being programmed. There's not all bad people and there's not all good people. Okay? In any nationality, there's always going to be good and bad. There's always going to be good and bad women, and good and bad men, and good and bad children, and good and bad elderly. I mean, there's always going to be good and bad, because we have our will is our free will to choose. You guys are not paying attention about, or really getting that understanding about polarities, and that we have the power of choice to choose here in the 3D. This is part of the reason why we came here, to choose. We're supposed to be choosing the paths and showing that we are elevated enough in consciousness to choose the right path. We're supposed to know better to do better. You're supposed to know when to choose love and when you may need to choose hate. Brother Bobby Hemmett told you that. We're supposed to know these things. So how we're ever going to stand as quote unquote these gods and goddesses that everybody's claiming to be, but you're making that claim without even putting yourself directly to the bloodline and stopping yourself from being labeled a corporation, a fiction. Again, you guys right now listening to this video, and it's many of you that are listening that have not declared yourself, are running around calling yourselves U.S. citizens, and is committing fraud by doing so. You literally can get locked up just because they don't enforce these rules and regulations. that you guys decided to play up under these rules and regulations. You decided to be up under the corporation, up under the US corporation. Just because they have not done it yet does not mean that it's not in their arsenal to do. You don't know what all you're doing every day that is in the arsenal of the defunct United States corporation, in which they can come after you to fine you and tax you and put you in jail. You don't know. They come out with their quote unquote rules and regulations, what they consider statutes and whatever the case may be. They come out with all of these regulations and stuff yearly that none of you guys are reading. It may be 200 new rules that they're claiming to be laws that are not laws, that none of you guys are reading. This whole system has been set up by lawyers, attorneys. You guys are not reading stuff, and you think that you could just Google information and you know all the answers because you Googled a page and then they said something to you and you fell for the program. You don't know if that page was set up by the agents, because there's a lot of agents in these groups that look like you, but not you, along with others that don't look like you. And they are trying to steer you away from you claiming your inheritance. So if we talk about the dirty Moors, and we know that these dirty Moors, which is a very small group of people that is now have been enslaving the whole entire planet, all the good Moors, as well as everybody else. It's these dirty Moors and their puppets, which are other nationalities, whether you consider them hybrid European, but they fall in all other nationalities, not just the Europeans, that are working for these dirty Moors and working with these dirty Moors. And they're all in it together, and it's a very small group. That 1% that you talk about, or the top 5%, that are enslaving the whole entire planet. So because of these specific people that are enslaving the entire planet, that's dividing us, that's making us fight with each other within our own nationality, along with fighting with other nations, and everybody is fighting. You know, there's division on the sexes, there's division on old and young, there's division on race, there's, you know, just so division on whether you're rich or poor, division on if you're smart, you know, all the intelligent to the people that they find that's not intelligent. I mean, it's so much division. They didn't trick you guys so much, because I see through the BS. They didn't trick you guys so much because there's so much misinformation that you guys are falling for the trap again, about to be tricked out of your estate again. You already got it tricked out of it before. Now it's the time to reclaim it, and you about to be tricked out of it again. You falling for the trap. One of the main problems is people don't want to read. No one wants to read books. You think you're going to Google something or listen to one person, then you got it all together. You got all the knowledge. When you have Moors and many people that have been studying this information for 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years, and you think you get it all together from a 2-page article or a YouTube video, one video, and you know all the answers. No, you're going to actually have to go and buy some books and actually read. You're going to actually have to study law and know what all this whole trap is about. We've been knowing that we are the indigenous people, because see, people think that it's enough to say that, oh, we're the indigenous people and this is our land and we've been here. We didn't come here for Africa. How long have we been saying that? How many videos can you look up right now that we've already said that on the public record? Because see, that's the thing. We're saying, oh, all we have to do is say this on the public record and we're good. Well, if that's the case, we would have been good. We would have been good by now, because we've been saying that on the public record. Many of us, a lot of us know that information already. We know that we are the indigenous people to this land, and we've been here, and we didn't come over here on a boat. Majority of us did not. We already know this stuff. We've already said it on video, out loud, in the public domain. So if it was just enough to say that, and to say that we're celestial and we come from other star systems, we know that already. If that was just enough by saying it, then why are we still in the trap? Have you ever thought about it? Have you ever thought about, why are you still enslaved by the system? Why are you still in bondage? If we've already did that, where's your 40 acres and a mule? Because that's what a lot of people waiting on, reparations. Where's your 40 acres and a mule? Why are you still being liable for taxes and fines and other penalties like going to jail? Why is that happening to you? If that was enough, because see, people are saying, oh, that's enough. We don't have to do anything. We don't have to do no paperwork. All we know is just need to know this in our hearts. We've been knowing it in our hearts. It's a thing that you guys forgetting. If it's always been contract and laws and dealing with the laws, always. There's always been that, even in the celestial realm. In the celestial realm, there's always been that. Okay? So I'm saying this to you to say, since we already know this, then how does that make sense that that is enough to save you when you're not saved? You're still trapped. You're still enslaved. You're still in bondage. You're still part of the U.S. corporation, mainly because you have not rebutted it. You have not rebutted any of the information. You're still walking around, like, again, call yourself a U.S. citizen with your driver's license, okay, with your state IDs, with the social. You have not changed not one thing. Okay, you still have not terminated any of your corporate contracts. You have not terminated one thing. Again, so if it walks like a duck, it talks like a duck, is probably a duck. You know, I say this all the time. If you've seen somebody in a McDonald's uniform with a McDonald's ID coming from McDonald's with a McDonald's bag in their hand, and you said, oh, excuse me, are you guys still open today? And that person looked at you and said, I don't work at McDonald's. What made you think I worked at McDonald's? And you don't say to them, oh, I'm sorry. I thought because I seen you coming from McDonald's with McDonald's uniform with McDonald's badge that you were part of McDonald's. I didn't realize that you weren't. That's what you guys are doing every day. I'm the indigenous people of the land. You know, I'm a celestial being. I'm not from this world. I'm not of this world. I'm in this world. Saying all this stuff. But you're still walking around being corporate citizens and part of their property you're under the United States corporation. That's a trap. That's a trap for you not to do anything, not to make any moves, not to change. You guys are literally walking around being the definition of insanity. You're literally doing the same damn thing every single day and expecting a different result. That you don't have to do anything differently than what you've been doing, and you're okay. You haven't learned yet that that's not true? Has this era that we're living in, with all the stuff that's going on, and you know what I'm talking about. I'm just trying not to say it because YouTube, you know exactly what I'm talking about. All of this stuff that you see that's going on daily is changing, and it's changing because of you. The changes that are happening that you see, y'all walking around with masks on your face, and all of these other things, these mandates, everything that's coming out, mainly has to do with the fact that you're the heirs, contracts are over, you're supposed to be putting out your own new contracts of what you want. Your paperwork, not their paperwork, not the corporate paperwork. Your paperwork that you created from your study, that's not in the jurisdiction of the United States corporation, completely separate in your own sovereign jurisdiction. How are you guys claiming yourself to be sovereign, but still underneath and asking and requesting and registering all your stuff, all your information, going to their courts? How? How do you say that you're sovereign? Just because you said it out your mouth? Did it change anything? Do you see any difference? You see how crazy? I just want to know how crazy many of you sound right now. I'm not just judging. I'm saying this stuff out of love. I'm saying this stuff to wake you up. I'm saying this stuff to make sure you don't fall for the trap, because a lot of you guys are falling for the trap. You're being tricked again. And they just keep tricking you and tricking you. See, they got multiple tricks, especially for you people that think you really smart. Because we'll say, oh, well, they tricking dumb people. Well, we label quote unquote dumb people. No, there's many tricks for everybody, all the way up to the smarties. The ones that think they're so smart. The ones that got the education, they went to school and got their degrees. Okay. They're tricking everybody. They have different traps. Oh, what you want? If you're a patriot, I got a trap for you. If you think you're smart, there's a trap for you. If you're from the hood, I got a trap for you. If you're a fearing person, oh, I got a real trap for you. And they're playing on everybody with all of the different tricks to keep you all confused. You have to go within, use your intuition, and just use basic common sense. The common sense is what came from the ancestors. That's also part of your intuition, where you could just decipher through the bull. You'll be able to decipher through the BS. It's really not that hard. Again, simple. If you're going to their courts, then you're part of the corporation, or they believe you're part of the corporation. If you're registering anything, your car, you're, putting your house in the recorder of deeds, then that's part of the corporation. If you want to put any of your paperwork in their system, then that's part of the corporation. You're under them. You're making them above you. That's why you have to keep asking for approval. You have to keep asking for their approval. If you need, and you're sovereign, and you need a non-sovereign's approval, then they're the one that's really superior and on top. And also, let's get one thing clear. Just because you're a sovereign does not mean treat people bad and do things, wrong to people. There's a lot of good people out here in all nationalities. All nationalities. Matter of fact, some of the different nationalities that are non-Moors is still some of the guys that came back and returned. They came back returned to help us with our plight. And some of them look like non-Moors, but they really are Moors and still helping us with our plight. So you can't just judge anybody. But I'm telling you this, if you are a Moor, believe me, with great power comes great responsibility. You are the guardians to this planet, to this earth, to the estate, to everything. And that means you're responsible. You're responsible for everybody. So there's a lot that goes with that. That's why you have to learn how to govern yourself, or you will be governed, as you have been this whole time. And this is why we practice the 5 principles of light, love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. That's very important. It keeps us on our path. It keeps us where we need to be. When it's time to destroy, we know how to destroy. When it's time to build, we know how to build. Okay? We know how to master polarities. See, we're going to get, if people are interested into learning how to use their psychic ability and their magic, I am starting to do those classes. Reach out to me, okay? at the Moors News Network at gmail.com. That's the Moors News Network at gmail.com. Again, I keep inviting everybody, all nationalities, to the Moors News Network. There's a lot of them in there, all different types at the Moors News Network on Telegram. Join us. Join the link. Okay. We share a lot of information. And just again, there's a lot of different people around the world that are non-Moors that are waiting for us to wake up. We're the ones who's supposed to be helping to set people free. But how are we supposed to set the world free when we haven't even set ourselves free? A lot of you guys won't even let yourself be free. People have Stockholm syndrome. They scared to leave the system. The same system that's killing you off, killing your children off, dumbing you down, and trying to stealing from you daily. That's the system that you love so much, that you want to continue to keep being under this system. This system that's set up not only set you up to fail, but also is a system that's also put into place to try to make sure you fail. So therefore, they can inherit the stuff that you don't want, because it's obvious. If you really want something, you're going to do everything it takes to get it. When people really want stuff, they're going to do what it takes to get it. If you don't want to do what it takes to get it, that's fine. Stay out the way. Stay out the way of those that are going to do what it takes to get it. Because they want it for everybody, their children, including your children. If you're not going to do it, maybe they'll do it to even help your own children out. You want to stay under the corporate system, and when they start to come do the repossession process, because they will, and they start getting the people with the bots and coming after all their US citizens, all part of the corporation, all of the people that have never rebutted the fact that they're not US citizens, that they're not in the jurisdiction of the US corporation, and terminated all of their corporate contracts and proclaimed who they really are. They will be after you. This is not to fear mongering. It's happening already. They're doing it. If you're looking all around the world, there was many places where they went to indigenous areas. Specifically, if you read any piece of the news, we've been talking about this. They have came to those areas and was forcing people to get the box. Specifically in those areas. What do you think they're doing all this stuff for? They're not doing all this for nothing. They're putting all this hard work in to take you away because they know that it's time for you to wake up, stand up to who you really are, and stop not only being scared, but ashamed. If that is not the most disrespect to your ancestors, you're being ashamed of who you are. See, I know I'm touching home with some people today, and you know, you right here listening, you are ashamed to call yourself who you really are because of some specific people that did some wrongdoing. So now you're ashamed to bear your ancestors, what you would call quote unquote surnames, last names. That's what you would call it. Their appellations. That's what I would call it. Okay. You don't even want to bear it. There's a problem with that. You being ashamed of your ancestors, your mothers and forefathers, you're being ashamed of them and all the stuff that they did, all the hard work that they did to do to help you and even helping you right now. Again, if you have not honored your ancestors, whoever has it, you're going to be in trouble. There's a lot of stuff that's about to go down that you guys are not paying attention to. We talked about a lot of that stuff on episode 8 of The Shift. I'm saying it again because I seen there were several people that went and looked on YouTube that I was saying that video had got banned, but it was more people looking at the fact that it got banned than going to Rumble to actually check it out. So you're missing the information that can literally save your life. We talked about so much. information. And I'm also going to say that if you listen to the Oracle, okay, Christina Vargas, I talk about her a lot. I love that Empress. She's a high priestess. She also was just talking about, again, shake, shake, shake. The earth is going to shake. She keeps talking about that. She talked about the birds falling out the sky. The day before the stuff happened in Hawaii with the blizzard, she was just talking about that it was going to be like blizzard and certain somewhere, and it was going to be some warm tropical climate. And she talked about birds come out the sky. And then the next day, because I do the news, so I look at all news, a lot of mainstream media on purpose, because I'm looking at the mainstream media and I'm seeing a correlation of a lot of stuff that we're talking about in alternative news platforms is finally starting to hit mainstream media. And sure enough, the next day, that stuff was in there. Those receipts were there. And now we're talking about the hundreds of volcanoes, for those that don't know, that are here in the United States that are waking up right now, and all the lava chambers that are opening up and people feeling the shake, shake, shake. And people talking about the new Madrid fault line that looks like it's starting to rip open. It's so much stuff going on. You guys don't have a clue. You guys don't have a clue. There's so much going on, and you're going to need your ancestors. So one of the main things I've been telling people is, part of doing your shadow work and going within yourself and realizing all the stuff that you have been through and working through that trauma. Well, one of them is definitely not, if you're ashamed of your identity or not willing to proclaim who you are, there's a problem with that. There's definitely you haven't did all your shadow work until you do that and go through that. Now, if I'm talking to you guys today, I definitely want to see some people in the comments. I want to hear what you have to say. If you see this on live, definitely please be a part of the live chat. But I'm talking to people today. I want to see some comments about this, what I'm saying, because I know I'm hitting home with a lot of people today. A lot of people that's looking at this, not all, but a lot of people that's looking at this, you guys are falling into the exact same categories that I'm talking about today. And then there's some that are procrastinating. They got the information. I gave the information for free. Still haven't did it. Acting like you guys have all the time in the world. Where time's ticking away and you're almost done. It's almost, time is of the essence, and you guys are running out of time. You guys are running out of time. I don't know how to better say what I'm saying right now to get you guys to wake up, get out of, some of you guys are definitely literally in a coma. It's beyond just waking up out your sleep. You guys are into some heavy, deep sleep. And I'm here out of love to smack you the heck up. Wake up. Wake up. Some stuff, I'm telling you, it doesn't even make common sense. So again, reach out to me on Nationality. If you have not, reach out to me. I'll give you the information. It is free documentation. Again, free for free documentation. You reach out at the Morris News Network at gmail.com or join us on the Morris News Network on Telegram. I will give you that information. For those that have received the information and still need to get a clearer understanding, then do the consultation. Do the consultation so then you can actually, it will help guide you into the right direction to help you start to really figure out, what do you really want to do this or not? And also give you a great foundation to do your study so you can move quicker, because you're holding up you. No one else is holding up you. You are holding up you. So do that and reach out to me so we can do this, and you don't have a lot of time. If you can go ahead and do the study and do it yourself, fine. If you need help, I am definitely here for you guys. I've shown that. I'm on the phone like literally 2 to 4 hours with almost everybody about everything we're talking about. I do it for a very small donation, very, very small. I don't know anyone else that is doing it for the way I'm doing it, just to give you a clearer picture, answer any questions, show you how all of this information attains to you, how it affects your affairs, dispel any myths and all that stuff that's going on. And a lot of it you can do yourself by just using your common sense. But I'm here for you, okay? And we'll go through all of that. And another thing is about the karmic cleanse. You guys really need the karmic cleanse. Now, there are others that are doing it, okay? Again, I am charging a very, 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 very small donation. If anybody has ever reached out to me, you already know it's small, because you're getting the cleanse, you're getting the past life and soul name reading for a very small donation. And if anyone wants to add on the termination of 3D to contract to move forward to the 5D, then, you know, I do that. That's just a separate add-on for those that want it. If you don't want it, you don't have to do it. But I am doing another cleanse, because we did one for the solar eclipse, but there's another very powerful day coming up this Sunday, which is 12/12/21. I'm doing it for 12/12. Today is Friday. If you are interested, reach out, because that's going to be a very powerful day, and it's your psychic abilities is going to be heightened. And at this point, it's going to be a great time to push the energies to where you need to be to heighten you and build you up at the time, because I'm removing any of your old karma. I'm removing obstacles out your way, getting rid of the ego. This is all the stuff that you need to go to the 5D anyway, and taking away negative energy, and I'm also doing a healing process in at the same time. I'm doing all of that, okay, for you guys. I wore myself out doing that stuff for the solar eclipse, okay. I'm doing all of that stuff for you guys for a very small donation. Again, it's coming up 2 days. It's coming up in 2 days. You guys will want to reach out to me right away if you are interested, so you can get that taken care of. I'm doing it for other days coming up this month, because we have a couple of other powerful energy days. I'm just telling people, it's so much stuff going on, and it's supposed to be a lot of stuff going on this December. Kind of everybody knows it and has been talking about it. So you just never know what may happen to where you're not able to do it another day. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things. If you have the opportunity to do it, then don't wait to another day to do it. Just do it. And for those that don't have the opportunity, then if it's still everything's still good to go, then maybe we'll be able to go ahead and take care of that again on another day. Because if you just don't have it, you just don't have it. So I completely understand and understand that as well. So that's okay. But I'm talking about for those that can do it. Okay. For those that can't, you wait until you can. You just got to do what you got to do. However, you can still start doing your study, start doing your research, get your free documents for the nationality, and just start somewhere. Just start doing something. Be proactive, okay? Be proactive. Don't be reactive. Everybody is reactive, like they like to wait till things happen and then they want to go do something. By that time, it's too late. Most of the time, it's too late. You may not even have the opportunity. So do not wait. Do not wait for that, okay? So again, if you're interested in the karmic cleanse, reach out to me at the Morris News Network at gmail.com. And once again, join us at the Morris News Network. The invite link is provided below on Telegram. I really, really, really hope I hit home with many of you stagnators, procrastinators, the people that's not doing the research on this, the people that may be listening to people that this just may not be their study, that, again, I have to say, you wouldn't go to a chiropractor if you needed a heart surgeon. So, just factor that in, keep that in mind, keep your wits about you, and definitely use your intuition and your common sense and start honoring your ancestors. You really need to do that. Start honoring your ancestors today. A lot of other nations do it. We're some of the main ones that's not doing it because we have to continue to deal with all this mess. We have to continue to like work out all this mess and figure our way out because it's so many agents and it's so many just misinformation out there that we have to constantly go through this just to even get through to the finish line. So again, I hope this helps. Okay. And I'm doing this out of love. I'm not here just to chastise anybody. This wasn't my plan. I am saying it with passion because this is serious. And I'm trying to get over to you guys how serious this really is right now. Okay. And I don't want any of my people to keep falling for the tricks and the traps because children suffer because of their parents. I'm gonna repeat that. The children suffer because of their mothers and their fathers. And for if anything, I am definitely doing this for the children. And I don't want them to suffer because their parents, their mothers, their fathers lack of information. Okay. That we talked about this, the quote unquote, how people will perish for, the lack of information, their ignorance. And I don't want your ignorance to a situation to mess up your children and your grandchildren and your great-great-grandchildren and so on and so on and so on. Okay. So again, thank you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I hope you tune in often because we are going to keep hitting people over the head with this knowledge, with this information. And with definitely nationality and dealing with that shadow work and the karmic cleanse. For real, we're definitely going to keep hitting you over the head with that because it's time. It is definitely time now. Okay. So if you're interested in any of that and the magic classes, okay, your psychic abilities getting that activated, reach out to me. Okay. So that's about it. I think I wrapped everything up for tonight. Okay. So I am Empress Sade Elbay with the Moore's News Network. Peace and love.